In the headlines, $15 million in income support for citizens who have lost livelihoods as Prime Minister Skerrit announces no active case of COVID-19 in the country. A drop in fuel prices goes into effect here as massive lockdowns around the world lead to a reduced demand for fuel. And the legal fraternity mourns the loss of Registrar of Companies Sandra Julian, who died on Sunday. I am Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Ani mettez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better. Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Away $40,000 in cash, 2 bags of money plus a grand every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you want to win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, Dominicans have been warned to guard against complacency, even as Prime Minister Skerrit announced on Sunday night there is currently no active case of COVID-19 in the country. This means all 16 confirmed cases have successfully recovered. The Prime Minister says so far government has spent close to $20 million in direct cost fighting COVID-19. He says government will have to spend even more while central government revenue has dropped significantly.
For the month of April 2020, collections from personal income tax declined by 12%. Corporate income tax declined by 91%. Value-added tax declined by 34%, excise tax 30%, and import duties by 19%. Similarly, as expected, we have seen a decline in CBI revenue. Taxes collected by the Customs Division are estimated to decline by an average of 30% for the months of May to June 2020. Taxes collected by the Inland Revenue Division are projected to fall by an average of 20% for that same period. This must be viewed in the context of a country that is still recovering from the utter devastation caused by Hurricane Maria less than 3 years ago.
In other top stories, $15 million in income support to be provided for citizens who have lost livelihoods as a result of the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. In an address to the nation Sunday night, Prime Minister Skerrit said individuals who work in salons as well as bartenders, barbers and domestic workers have also lost livelihoods and will benefit from income support.
Heads of families and single persons who are currently no longer employed will receive income support in the amount of $600 and $400 respectively for the period April 2020 to June 2020 in the first instance. Funding in the amount of $15.7 million to the affected employees and self-employed will be provided exclusively by the government of Dominica, but will be made available through the Dominica Social Security, given the administrative capacity that is already in place. The details of how to apply for these grants will be provided by the Dominica Social Security.
Low-interest loans will be made available for small business operators.
To assist micro and small businesses, including self-employed persons such as manufacturers, bus drivers, barbers, hairdressers, and persons in the tourism sector, to bridge the financing gap created as a result of the pandemic, government will provide loans of up to $15,000 to micro and small enterprises at an interest rate of 1%. Access to these funds will be available from May 22, 2020. Payment of the first installment will be due 6 months after the receipt of the loan. This loan facility of $5 million in the first instance will be administered by the Aid Bank.
The Prime Minister has also commended private sector companies who have kept their employees during the crisis.
The DAC has advised that its members have retained their pre-COVID-19 pandemic staff. Government has also spoken directly with the top largest private sector employers. I am advised that 88% of these employers have held on to their full complement of staff, while the other 12% have released 15%, or approximately 90 persons. These employers should be commended highly for their stellar contribution to the well-being of their employees and families. They have agreed to hold on and partner with the government to ensure the social stability of the country in these very difficult and uncertain times. As an expression of gratitude for the social responsibility displayed by a great majority of employers in this country, the government will grant a rebate to companies equivalent to an 8% reduction in the corporate income tax rate applied to their chargeable income for income years ending December 31, 2019, and between January 1, 2020 and June 30, 2020. This income tax rate reduction from 25% to 17% of chargeable income will apply to companies which have signed agreements with the government committing to continue to employ at least 80% of their staffing complement as of January 1, 2020, for a period of 12 months from the date of the granting of the rebate. Revenue foregone by this measure is estimated at $7.68 million.
In other developments, welcome relief for commuters on Monday as they take advantage of a drop in the price of fuel. The Ministry of Trade announced on Monday that gasoline prices had dropped from $9.79 to $7.38 a gallon. Diesel, previously sold at $9.21, is now sold at $6.44 a gallon. And the kerosene is now $4.99 a gallon, down from $7.92 per gallon. The 20-pound cylinder of LPG is now sold for $24.43 in Roseau and surroundings. The drop in fuel prices is not unexpected as the COVID-19 pandemic has led to lockdowns in countries across the globe. These lockdowns mean that with reduced travel, the demand for fuel has dropped significantly, resulting in a glut on the market. When the supply is greater than demand, the price drops. The legal fraternity is mourning the loss of one of its own in the person of Sandra Julian. Julian, who was 59 years old, passed away on Sunday. She was a lawyer and member of the Dominica Bar Association and had held the position of Registrar of Companies and Intellectual Property Office. According to a press release from the Dominica Bar Association, the former lawyer was called to the Dominica Bar in 2001 and appointed to the post of Registrar of Companies and Intellectual Property in 2009. She served as a legally qualified professional in Dominica for the majority of her career, except for a short time spent overseas. The release went on to say Sandra Julian was well respected among her peers in the regional and international intellectual property offices, and her advice was frequently sought by them. Ms. Julian, who passed away from a recurring battle with a debilitating illness, leaves to mourn her mother, siblings, close friends, and work colleagues. You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah.
Yo, check this. Flo is giving away $30,000 in cash.
Oh, yeah.
2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
We're flowing better every day, and now we're making parties great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
10,000 more.
Sign up.
Just switch the flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
We flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
When persons with TB sneeze or cough, healthy persons nearby breathe in the droplets and the bacteria can lodge in their lungs. People with weakened immune systems such as HIV/AIDS, alcohol and drug users, smokers, children, and the elderly are most susceptible. Persons with a cough should take precautions when in contact with persons in public places. Cover your mouth when sneezing and coughing. Visit your doctor or health center. You must complete your treatment. TB can be cured even with HIV. Be responsible. Help stop the spread of TB and HIV. Protect yourself and others.
When you feel a sneeze or a cough coming, covering your mouth prevents the spread of germs. You probably knew that. But the way you cover up also matters, and that means breaking a habit you've held near and dear all your life. Cover your nose and mouth with your flexed elbow or a tissue, not your hands. Discard the used tissue immediately. Then wash your hands. Help stop the spread of germs. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message by the Health Promotion Unit of the Ministry of Health, Wellness and New Health Investment, Dominica.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better. A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD. All for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
Welcome back. Additional businesses shut down by COVID-19 social distancing protocols reopened on Monday, operating only by appointment. These include hair salons and barbershops, surfer spas, manicure, pedicure, and massage parlors. As far as lifting of other restrictions, the Prime Minister says guidelines are being developed in coordination with other countries in the region for the gradual resumption of travel.
Should we continue on this current trajectory of the management of the pandemic situation, we hope to be able to facilitate at least regional travel by July. By that time, we will hopefully also be able to lift most of the curfew restrictions here. Our projection also is that by that time, we will be able to consolidate the various protocols for the reopening of restaurants, bars, cinemas, and hotels. Discussions are ongoing with our church and faith-based leaders on how to facilitate the congregating of worshippers at their various places. I have deliberately refused to refer to that process as the reopening of churches, because the many religious leaders continue to remind me that church is not closed. For church, in a general sense, continues as people continue to worship in various ways, and that indeed the prayer warriors of this nation have been on their knees even while this country continues to move forward in faith on its feet.
And over 300 preschool-aged children provided with supplies to continue their educational development during the COVID-19 crisis. Julian Morris tells us more.
The supplies are provided by Israel Aid, an Israeli-based humanitarian organization which came to Dominica after Hurricane Maria. The institution was focused on helping children. However, due to the COVID-19 outbreak and calls for social distancing, the organization has had to change its method of interacting with children. Head of programs with Israel Aid Dominica, Felicia Peer, says over 300 children have benefited from the donation of recreational and educational material.
When we saw and we were monitoring the situation and seeing how things were progressing, we took the decision that, we would go out in small teams and do distributions to just the principals of each schools. And for those distributions, we put our guidelines and protocols in place, not just to protect our team members, but also the principals, so that they can reduce their risk when they do the distribution of kits as well. We reached over 300 kids in the east of Dominica, and I must say it was quite successful. A lot of the families were really happy to receive the kids because, during this time, there are certain pockets and certain population and groups of kids or human beings who are forgotten, and they were really excited that, we had the foresight to think of them and think of the kids in the early childhood sector.
E-platforms were also utilized as a virtual recreation room was recently launched. This project consists of 2 components.
So we basically have an offline component where we're catering to the children in the east of Dominica. As you know, after Hurricane Maria, they lost a lot of internet connectivity. A lot of them are still without data. So what we're doing is we're pre-recording videos and making sure that it's not really heavy. So we send it to principals, to teachers, and they disseminate it through WhatsApp groups for their parents, which is not really consuming a lot of data. And then we have an online avenue where we created a closed Facebook group for early childhood educators. So parents, principals, teachers, they can come and join that group, and they'll be able to access the same information that the people in the East are getting, but also additional resources and materials, which would obviously take a lot more data and internet.
IsraAID has identified family involvement as key in ensuring the successful development of preschool-aged children.
Preschool age is really a critical age for learning and stimulation and developing certain skills. So our ability to create that content and send it to them and also give them the materials and resources so that they can sit down and help their kids is really good. And another thing that we thought of when we were designing the recreation kits and the virtual recreation room was to, build and foster a sense of family and strengthening family bonds. So one of the guidelines for our recreation room is that kids are not allowed to do activities on their own. So there must be an older sibling or parent must be with them doing it. So, it builds that family relationship and that cohesion that we want.
A new in-home experience is here. All your services bundled into one simple plan. Faster, more reliable Wi-Fi so that you can binge, play, and stream uninterrupted. Unlimited Flow local landline minutes mean you can talk and talk and talk. Plus the best in TV entertainment with over 120 channels and 29 in HD, all for $160 a month with the new all-in bundle. With Flow, it only gets better.
With Flow, win a bag of money, cash out, get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
Yo, check this. Flow is giving away $30,000 in cash. 2 bags of money plus $1,000 every Friday.
With Flow is better every day, and now we're making Fridays great. That's 3 ways that you can play. So listen up.
Top up.
$10 or more.
Sign up.
Just switch to Flow.
Get a plan.
1 gig or more. If you wanna win cash galore.
With Flow.
Win a bag of money.
Cash out.
Get a bag of money. What you gonna do with a bag of money? Yeah. From Flow.
So top up, get a plan, or switch now to win. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
Flow helps you stay connected to what matters. Simple plans and a better network mean that you can enjoy 7 days of unlimited social messaging, 3 gigabytes of reliable data to use as you like, 700 local anywhere calls and texts, with the always-on prepaid plan, all for $29. Keep your number when you switch to Dominica's most reliable LTE network. Buy wherever you top up. Switch to Flow. It only gets better.
Avec Flow, gagnez l'argent, on partit l'argent avec Flow. Gagnez l'argent, on gros sac l'argent. C'est juste ça pour gagner un gros sac l'argent avec Flow. Animez on top up, sign up, quittez yo, et venez joindre Flow. It only gets better with Flow.
Flow terms and conditions apply.
To end the news, the headlines again. $15 million in income support for citizens who lost livelihoods as Prime Minister Skerrit announces no active case of COVID-19 in the country. A drop in gas prices goes into effect here as massive lockdowns worldwide lead to reduced demand for fuel. And the legal fraternity mourns the loss of Registrar of Companies Sandra Julian, who died on Sunday. Feel free to access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.